So what I'm going to share today is some key secrets on how to make money in the Forex industry. I think it's very important that you understand that there are going to be times where you struggle in Forex and trying to be profitable. Maybe you are a beginning trader. Maybe you have been trading for a long time. Maybe you have been hopping from different strategies, or maybe you just been having a bad taste of different groups you've been joining. There can be information overload. There's a ton of things that can cause us to not be profitable when it comes to Forex trading. But one thing I believe in when it comes to Forex trading is there is not a one-way system of how to be profitable. However, there are some important steps I believe we do need to follow as entrepreneurs. All right. You are considered number one, an entrepreneur. All right. So in this game, you are an entrepreneur. All right. That's how you spell it. All right, let's just put entrepreneur. It'll come up when I try. There it is. So number one, you are an entrepreneur. All right. And I will be showing some trading secrets and how you can possibly look at the market to catch really good RRs. All right. So number one, you have to understand that you are an entrepreneur. Okay. You have to think of this as a business. You have to take this very seriously. Okay. I've been through a lot of trials and error. I have still to this day make continuous mistakes that I do not like to make. And sometimes I have to start over with my brain to let my brain know that if you follow these steps and becoming disciplined as a trader, you will succeed. Okay. The psychology point is very difficult. I know trading Forex, you have psychology points that affect your brain while trading. For example, you might fear of missing out on a trade, so you hop into a trade. Number two, you might think that the market is not going to go your way, even if your setup is there. So you fear of getting into the market, right? You think that the market is there to stop you out, to take all your money when you enter the market. These are unhealthy psychological mindsets that kind of stem you away from being profitable as a trader. All right. So number one, you're an entrepreneur. The psychology part is going to get to you. Just know that this is a business. Whatever happens in the market is not your responsibility. The only responsibility is risk management and you pressing that button to buy or sell. All right. Number two, find a mentor. All right. I cannot stress this enough. Some people do not want to find a mentor because they want to do it on their own. Do I have anything against that? I don't think so. I just believe that if you try to do this on your own, there's just so much information out there. You're going to be bombarded with, and it can cause information overload. You're going to try out all these strategies. You're never really going to get anywhere. You might find something that works for you, but then when it stops working for you, you want to quickly switch to something else. All right. So I would say find a mentor that is already, in the game, doing really well. Hey, you can join, this group if you like. Right now it's open for free. I will, of course, start charging pretty soon. But right now I'm just giving you guys free content because I want people to succeed in the Forex market. Okay. So number two, find a mentor, adapt the strategy. But number three, find a strategy that fits your personality. All right. So I can't stress this enough. Okay. Find a strategy that fits your personality. Not only do you need to find a mentor, okay, but sometimes we want to do exactly what our mentors are doing and expect the same results. To be honest, this is not always the case. Sometimes you may find those same results, but there's going to be times where you need to trade your time zone. So your mentor might be trading New York session, but you might have to trade London, right? Your mentor might trade order blocks, but you want to trade order blocks and you're doing the same thing that this mentor is doing, but you find it better maybe if you trade order blocks a different way than he does, right? He just shows you a great way to trade order blocks. Maybe he trades in a lesser time frame, but maybe you only have time to trade on the higher time frame. So it's good to follow the strategy that your mentor has, but make sure that it fits your personality, okay? Make sure it fits your time zone. Make sure it fits everything that makes you feel comfortable when it comes to trading. The number one key I want to stress is make trading simple as possible, okay? If you make it very difficult, you will have issues becoming profitable in Forex. All right. Number 4, risk management. All right. I can't stress this enough. All right. You need to learn how to manage your risk. Okay. So it's very important that you don't over leverage, that you don't over risk on your account, because when it comes to losing, what tends to happen is you want to revenge trade and you want to make up for the losses that you have lost, right? I think that is very, very dangerous when it comes to Forex. The market is very volatile. It's fragile. It's unpredictable. Yes, people will say, yeah, the market is doing something every single day. It's doing the same thing every single day. But that does not mean that the market is constantly doing the same patterns every day, all right? There's a lot of days where the market's going to whipsaw. There's a lot of days when the market's going to stop, consolidate. It's going to range. There's a lot of days the market's just going to shoot up and then shoot completely back down, okay? So risk management is important. So you can know that even if you lose, you can accept that loss and move on, okay? Number 5, trade less, all right? If you're scalping, you can trade every day, just because scalping doesn't really require you to hold trades, right? It doesn't really require you much. It just requires you to be in and out, right? But sometimes trading more of your capital every day exposes you to the markets, okay? So let's just say I'm in a bad neighborhood, right? And they said, do your best to stay inside your home because it is dangerous at night, right? Well, a lot of times there's going to be people who are going to avoid these rules, and there some might be curious and some are just naturally getting in trouble, and they want to be outside at nighttime more often because that's where they find their most, hobbies and activities, and maybe they're, doing something they shouldn't be doing, but then they expose themselves to danger, okay, because they're out there more when they were told not to be out there at a certain time. So this is the same thing with Forex. Make sure that if you are going to be trading every day, that you're comfortable exposing your risk that much. All right. I would say the more you trade less, probably the more profitable you will be if you are more of a day trader or of a swing trader, even if it's a scalping, because sometimes scalping can get a little bit addicting. And you need to manage your trades when it comes to scalping, because sometimes the market will just come right back on you, stop you out, and you want to keep on getting in over and over and over again. And then it leads to over trading. Okay, so you don't want to do those things. All right. So trade less if possible. Okay. So we are entrepreneurs. Find a mentor, find a strategy that fits your personality, risk management, trade less, and I will say this: have a trading plan. All right. Now, some people believe in trading journal. I think journaling your trades are definitely amazing. I was doing it for a while. I honestly say that I stopped journaling my trades, okay? And the reason why is because sometimes when you journal your trades, you get into this systematic way of journaling something. And even though if you're learning from, maybe your wins or losses, my mind is already telling me why I lost, or my mind is already telling me why I have won. So to me, I don't necessarily need to journal my trades, but sometimes journaling your trades will help you understand your how much you're risking maybe every day. Maybe from the whole week you're doing a review and you're like, oh man, I only lost once and won 4 times, right? Or maybe lost 4 times and lost 1 time. So that way you can go back and just review. I'm the type of guy where I look at the end of the week and I'm like, okay, I lost this much. Let me go back. Or I won this much. Okay, still, let me go back and see the trade I won and why I won or why I lost. All right. So if you don't have a trading plan, please have a trading plan. Know how much you're going to risk before you get in trade. Know at least where your profit target is going to be, all right, or where you want to aim for. Okay. Understand that once manage your trade, the more you get in profit, maybe take partials, things of that nature. So definitely have a trading plan. Okay. Number 7 is the most important to me, or one of the main things. Be patient. All right. This is something I'm still learning about. The more you are patient, the more you are going to be able to be successful in this market. Okay. Because sometimes you're going to see areas like this where the market is just consolidating. Okay. It's ranging. All right. It's ranging up and down. It's getting this tight, and then it breaks out the wedge, and then it comes right back down. Okay, right? Sometimes the market is just going to do that. See all this? Sometimes the market's just going to do that. And one thing you should not do is force yourself into any of these trades. You see? So there's people who are buying and selling here, getting stuck, getting stopped out. I mean, you don't want to trade these zones, okay? So just be on the alert when you understand the conditions of the market, okay? And lastly, before I get into this trading strategy, is back test. Back test all the time. I don't care how good you are. Back test all the time. If you back test, I promise you you'll get better. Okay. If you're patient, I promise you'll get better. And don't be afraid to take the trade. Don't be afraid to take your setup. If you say that the market is like right here, right? Let's just say if the market was right here, right? But then all of a sudden it's right here. All of a sudden it dumps, right? You say you want to take a sell when it comes back, okay? If it comes back and starts rejecting, take your sell and put your stop loss there, all right? Don't be afraid to get in these markets. You don't know the outcome. Stop trying to be right all the time. Just take the trade. You are right for taking the trade, even if you lost, because you believed in your setup, okay? So take a screenshot of this. I'm about to delete this, all right? Pause the video, do whatever you need to do, okay? And then boom. Let's get into some trading strategies, okay? So you can look at some order blocks. I like to trade supply and demand. Definitely, I like to take my trades on a 5-minute time frame. But let's just look at some markets in general, okay? So for example, here's a London high, right? Here's a London high, right? So let's just say this is the high of the market and this is the low of the market. All right, so this is the low of the market and this is the high of the market, all right, for that day. This is London session, all right? I like to trade New York session, all right? But I'm just going to show you some great tips on how to necessarily, excuse me, I got a little cough right now. All right. So clearly the market is breaking lows, right? Clearly you see a high being formed, low, high, and low be formed, right? So clearly you can see that, all right? So what this is telling you is that the market can necessarily come back up to the order block the most legitimate order block that's the most strongest and retest it on it. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll mark that up, right? I'll mark it up. You can mark it up right here. It's already retested. So you could have took any of these sales. Plus there's lows being broken. All right. There are lows being broken. And so this is what you would call your supply zone. Right? So this is your supply zone. And this is your order block right here. Okay. So let's delete this. And what we'll do is we'll wait on a retest. All right. So it retested during New York session. Okay. Now you see this rejection right here. This is where you can necessarily get into the market and put your stop loss right here. Okay. And this is more of an aggressive entry. Okay. This is an aggressive entry, and you can aim to take profit down here. All right. Now, or what you could do is you can wait for a previous low to be broken, which is after this has, let me just put it up right here. After this has rejected this supply zone, you could wait for this candlestick right here to be broken as low, or if this one closes like this, wait for the next candlestick to break this candlestick of the low of this candlestick, all right? Just right here, okay? Of course, it didn't happen. So you see how this one closed like that, but then this one immediately engulfed that candlestick. So you would enter at the end of that candlestick, right? Or you could just enter at these highs and put your stop loss right here, okay? But for right now, let's just say we're playing in conservative, 14 pips, and we're aiming for a 1 to 3, almost a 1 to 4. So your take profit is instantly hit, all right? So this is a primary example that I actually had a supply zone set up. I waited for my setup, and I actually waited for my confirmation bias, okay? So this is what I'm telling you about, is to be patient and wait. When you see this happening, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it, okay? Leave it alone, all right? Leave it alone. Let's see if we can see any other examples. This is the British pound USD. We did have a good Euro USD. I can show you Euro USD example. I had a really good trade up here, all right? So around this time, I saw the market was creating what we call a bearish, a bullish flag, right? And I don't trade patterns at all. I trade order flow and I trade supply and demand. Okay. So in my opinion, the market was due for a reversal. Even though I don't trade reversals completely, I necessarily look at the high of the markets and I see where they're touching. All right. So it already passed these highs. All right. So it already gained its liquidity off of these highs. And I'm like, okay, but the market is up here and it's already like touching a gap over here. All right. But that's not my concern. My concern is it broke these highs already. It was almost at the end of the week, and I believe there was some bears that was looking to come in. So what I wanted to do was for this order block right here, is for it to come back up, retest this high for me to get in, right? As soon as that happened, this is where I took my sell. I think it was this area. I can't remember if this was the same trade or not. But let's see. I don't think this was the same trade. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. But I know I took this sell. And what it's telling you is This is an order block right here, right? Came back, not respecting it, shot down, came back, boom, hit my order block. We're going for the sell, right? So that was just easy enough of a sell to show you that this is it's really possible, guys. It's really possible if you just wait. Okay. Let's see if we can find another example. Let's look for a demand zone. All right. So let's just say I'm trading New York, right? During London session, you have a big uptrend, all right? So I'm not worrying about this downtrend right now. What I'm worrying about is the market continuing up. Now, if it broke this low, I'll look for a supply zone, right? So the market was hanging out right here. New York happened, and it broke these highs, okay? It broke these highs right here, all right? And this was telling me that the market wanted to continue going up. All right, so it broke the high. And what did I do? After breaking that high, set my demand zone right here where this order block is. Even though it kind of already tested, we can look for another one. All right, bam. Rejection off the entry. Stop loss right here. And literally you can like aim for a 1-to-1. Boom, take profit hit, or you could aim for these highs. Remember, and the rest is easy, right? So these highs right here. Okay, so this was the high right here. So that was an example, pure example of demand, and when it gave you a 1-to-2 setup. See if we can find one more example. Let's go back on GU. Shoot. All right. So this was a man setup, but that wasn't really clean. I look for clean demand setups. There's all demands around here, right? This was a good one. Like I said, I trade New York guys, but I'm just giving you some London examples. So the market came up, it broke this high. And even though I already knew it was an uptrend, it still broke this high. Sometimes you want to wait for more confirmation. All right. So what I do is I look for the last order block that it shot up from. All right. And this was the last order block that it shot up from. Okay. I usually trade 5 minute, but this is 15 minutes. So just do this on you can do this on a 15-minute or 5-minute, don't matter. Right. So boom, you see the rejection. All right. Rejection is happening. You could have entered right there, put your stop loss literally underneath this area and just aim for these highs. All right. All right, take profit hit, so 1-to-3. So do you see how I was patient though? Did you see how I was looking for a setup? I was patient, I marked it out, and boom. All right. Now, there's sometimes you're going to have those times where you're going to have your demand zone right here. You'll never get a retest. And then it might come to this demand zone instead. All right. And you might get a retest. You just never know. See? Right there. You get a retest and it just keeps going up. And this one, in this case, you would have got 10 pips from 1-to-4 at these highs. So I'm hoping that this video was helpful. Please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not, and turn on your push notifications on, so that way every time I upload a video, you would know that there's the latest video is being uploaded. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. It's a good Friday, and I hope that this video was helpful If you do not have a mentor, if you don't have anybody to help you understand the market a little bit more in Forex, then there's a link below in the description and you can join the Discord. All right, y'all have a wonderful evening.